That's a person. That is a person. Hello and welcome to Scriptonite Reacts. I'm Scriptonite. Today we're going to be watching Season 3, Episode 4 of The Expanse, and this episode is called Reload, which does not bode well at all to me considering what happened in the last episode. I think the biggest thing geopolitically was that Earth took out Mars's first strike capability. So they basically had 5 of these sort of missile containers in various positions around the Earth. I think each one carried about 20 nukes or the equivalent, serious payloads, and that was some major leverage over Earth that they had. And what we saw was Esteban being influenced first by Pastor Anna and then by Ehrenreich. And it was really interesting because I think whichever way you come down on this, whether it was wrong to shoot the missiles, and I'll lay out these positions because I think often if you have one of the positions, it can actually be really hard to see the other. From the realpolitik arguments of Ehrenreich, the assumption is that if we don't fire, Mars will. And in that mindset, it's not a possibility, it's a certainty. And that's the way they do all their maths. So if you operate from a certainty that Mars will use its first strike capability against the Earth, and the maximum kind of death toll of that would be, I can't remember how many people they've got on Earth right now, but let's say 30 billion. Then what Ehrenreich's calculating is he's saying 30 billion dead versus 2 million dead. Easy choice. It's all numbers and it's easy. But the problem with that calculation that Ehrenreich makes and realpolitik people make is the certainty they have that that will happen. Because on the other side of things, you have Pastor Anna and others who would argue there are a million different variables between now and the day that Mars would use its first strike capability. So it is way too early to take out that first strike capability because you're incurring now 2 million civilian deaths. So these are not the armed forces that are dying. This is 2 million civilian deaths for the strategic advantage that you may not have needed. And there's often an assumption on that side of the argument that Mars would not first strike. So it's no dead versus 2 million civilian deaths. So that's why when these arguments go against each other, they can sometimes get so furious. Because on the one hand, you've got a group of people saying, we had no deaths and now you've killed 2 million people for nothing. Whereas on the realpolitik side, they're just as angry, saying, we would have had 30 billion deaths and there's only 2 million. Calm the fuck down. And they're both right in their camps. I'm sort of somewhere between the two. If I had a certainty that Mars was going to use its first strike capability, I would have fired those missiles. But Ehrenreich came nowhere near convincing me of the urgency to take that strike. I actually don't even have the trust with him that if we just randomly found those 5 missile holders now, why couldn't we find them in a week? I get his story, but I don't believe him. I think because he is so realpolitik, all of his arguments are geared around, they're geared around, this is a fait accompli. We have to do this. This is our one shot. That's it. I personally think that is an unacceptable attitude with which to go into something like this when you're responsible for so many lives. So I wouldn't have fired, I don't believe. Let's put it this way. Sitting in this chair, with the information I have been given, I would not have fired those shots. but I wouldn't have not fired them because I believed Mars would never do it. I would have not fired because there was nowhere near enough evidence to prove to me that that was anywhere in Mars's wheelhouse at this point in time. I could be wrong and 30 billion people could have died. I could have been right and saved 2 million lives, and we won't know. But I think the problem is there was not the due diligence done ahead of that strike. So that's my take on that. Secondly, whatever people felt, whether they took Erin Wright's view or Pastor Anna's view, I feel like what we can all agree on is Esteban was fucking weak. Weak sauce on top of weak sauce, that guy. I believe it's more important to Esteban to be seen to be doing the right thing than it is to actually do the right thing. I think he would do the wrong thing because it looked good, and I think he would not do the right thing if it risked making him look bad, and that makes a really shitty leader. Well, look at the state of the world right now. I'm really, really excited about this episode. Last episode was great. You know, the key stuff was the geopolitics, but we've also got developments with the protein molecule and the fact that Katoa died, I think. We didn't have a confirmation of whether he lived or died, but I think we can assume he's a goner. Mao pulled out of the programme, but Admiral Wynne on the Agatha King is making his way towards Io because they're apparently going to take over the project. So this is getting really messy now. It also means that we're going to have the Rocinante and all of our crew and Mao and Strickland and May and Admiral Wynne and Admiral Scyther and the Agatha King all at IO. So we definitely are building up to something. You guys are telling me it's, I think, 5 and 6 that I need to make sure that I watch together. So I'm guessing that's when it's all going to go down. And this episode will be leading us into that. But this season is not taking a breath, and I'm here for it. So let's have at it. I'm not looking. What am I looking at? That looks like a lot. That looks like a lot. Belter salvage fleet. Okay. It's the Belters.
Match vector. Ready to draw.
Kamina, it's been too long. Ooh, they've got the Naboo. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm so fucking excited about this. I don't know why I love the Naboo so much, but I really do. It's like my favourite ship.
Launch the Jaws.
Oh my god, it's the fucking drones again. Oh guys, you know how much I love these things. I fucking love this show.
You ready to grapple? Put us on the deck.
So.
I fucking love it!
To schedule the burn sequence. Let's get in turn.
Let's do it! Look at it! See, they're all gassing off one side and then they're turning it round so that they can launch it back the other way. It's amazing! Look at it! It's like that! I feel like we need the Expanse, the movie, at some point. I would want to see their effects on a big screen. It's just so good. Woo! It's making my tummy go. It's so good. Wow. I want to go. I really want to go. It's beautiful.
We have secured the nozzle. We'll begin retrofit immediately.
Oh my god. I think these paintings aren't going to last very long. What the fuck? That's a person. That is a person. Battlefield debris en route to IO. Okay.
You okay? I was just wondering if I knew any of these people. We're running on empty.
We need a resupply.
By robbing graves.
I feel the same way, but what else can we do?
Dead people don't need their stuff.
That's absolutely right. Nick it all.
Find us a likely candidate.
Pause. Just what I think of it, because I'm seeing it on the thing. We've met Mao, but where's Kukowski? It just strikes me that we see this company name all the time, but we've only seen one of the named partners. So I'm interested who that character is, if we're going to see them this season or at all. Yeah, anyway. Play.
It's the skin of my enemy.
I guess that makes this the skin of my ex. Naomi gave us these.
Didn't they train you to bend people to your will?
I can't even make you do what I want, and you're half my size. Look, I'm a shooter, not a spy. I don't usually solve problems with my people skills.
I solve problems by talking. I need that open channel to Souther.
But Holden is dead set on staying out of the war.
I've met his mother. I get the impression he won't be able to ride the fence for long. Let's give him a push.
I'm loving the politics of all that in the Rose Sea at the moment, like who's hating whom. Oh man, this is fucking ugly.
Looks like they were taking out the fight early. PDCs weren't even deployed.
Get him!
This debris field has a few black boxes sending out automated location signals. We shouldn't hang around here too long.
Quick, in and out. Let's stop with the moral quandaries.
And let's work fast.
Secure for docking.
They're gonna find someone alive, aren't they?
Oh, yes!
Project Caliban is more than just a stable, proto-hybrid super soldier.
Twisting humans into monsters on purpose. How could you do that to another person?
I think you and I had very different childhoods.
Weaponized hybrid is placed
Yeah, not the
inside
truth.
a fluid.
Helping a killer would be the worst thing that I could ever do. I don't know if that's true anymore.
I don't like what that's building to at all. Wow. Wow. I thought it was proto-molecule then. Anytime I see blue now.
Are you offering to cook?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to.
I know I don't.
No. What I meant was, that's really nice.
Oh. That was cute. That was really cute. What's going on? Who's tapping?
Everyone stop moving.
What? What's happening?
I just felt something.
Oh shit, what's in there?
SOS.
SOS is not proto-molecule that well.
Someone's alive in here.
I knew it.
So they're stripping out dead and you're okay with this?
Nobody asked you.
Oh, here she goes.
Why are they setting up an emergency airlock?
Rescue operation. They might have found some survivors, and if we hadn't been stripping the dead, we wouldn't have.
Blister seal is good. We're pressurized.
Are we too late?
Don't tell me it's gonna be fucking Kenzo or something. Oh, whoa! He's only little.
I knew Mars wouldn't leave us behind.
Mars didn't give a shit, but we're here.
You remember the story I told you of the boy I put in the oil drum and rolled onto the highway?
Is that him, Dad?
Yeah, Dad, is that him?
Oh, you
My
bet.
God, it's a family of idiots.
The General Assembly will convene in 5 minutes. Please take your seats.
You rode a wonderful speed. You should be front and center.
I come before you in a moment of terrible tragedy. Activity first on Eris, now on Venus. The unmistakable existence of advanced alien life whose mission and purpose we cannot fathom. We must not shy away from this or pretend otherwise. We have seen our way through even the darkest nights, and I am here to tell you from my heart that we will do so again.
It's a good speech. It's got me a bit tingly, I can't lie. Well done, Dr. Pastorano.
The first step, that most necessary and fundamental beginning, is the truth that Mars has turned away from. Given a chance to transcend our history, Mars has instead insisted on what it calls independence, which is actually no more than a justification for war and violence. To score points, they have lost sight of our shared humanity, and so they must be reminded. It is our duty to be what we have always been: one race, one human race, under one unified flag, and together move forward into this brave new chapter of history.
Oh, 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 you can fuck right off. This is some bullshit.
Thank you for your help.
You absolute bucket. Oh no! Ugh. Pause. Sorry, Mao. Fucking hell. I should have known that was what was going to happen. There's no way Aaron Wright gives two shits where Pastor Anna's sitting. He wanted her front and centre so that she would get the full force of that and have everyone's eyes on her. Oh, he's a shit. Real clever shit though, because he's got Esteban's ear. That was Aaron Wright speaking. I mean, it's a way to go. The problem is, you know, people want their independence. People don't want to be all the same as each other. It's part of the reason whenever any nation, state, whatever has tried to colonise the earth, ultimately they get kicked back. Because people don't want to be colonised. They want to be able to have some difference and have some sovereignty that matters. And I think when you scale up too far, you know, look at the state of Earth, people are so far removed from the decision making that they don't feel a part of it anymore, and it just becomes homogenised. And on the one hand you think, well, wouldn't it be a great way of getting rid of all of our bigotry and racism and sexism and everything else if we just were one thing and we just rolled out? But the problem is, paradoxically, you tend to exacerbate those issues when you force people to be the same when we're not. And actually being able to accept difference, even when it's painful. It seems actually that tends to create a more stable environment. In the same way that sort of democracies tend to be more stable than dictatorships. Again, paradoxically, shouldn't the dictatorship be more stable? Because the power of the leader is paramount. Well, no, because that lack of access, democracy, decision-making, freedom to look to all of the rest of the people means that they're more likely to depose that dictator and overturn that system than they are to overturn a system which gives them just enough that they don't want to risk losing that for the potential of making things better. So I think that while what Esteban and Aaron Wright are after sounds like it's going to create more stability, it absolutely won't, because there are just too many factions that have their own view, and their view, incidentally, is no less legitimate than Aaron Wright's and Esteban's. And that's the frustrating thing in all this, is that they're not saying, right, let's be led by the belt, let's put aside our factional partisan ways and have Anderson Dawes. No, it's convenient to them that they call for the end of all factions, because if you do that, then it's only them that remains in power. It's the same. The reason they want to crush Mars is because Mars threatens their power. It's nothing to do with the fate of humanity, the future of humankind. None of that. It's about power and where that power resides. And if the locus of power becomes Mars rather than Earth, or it becomes Martian rather than Earther, then you've got a fucking problem. And that's why 2 million people are dead. That's why they want to fire things. That's why they're going to now probably start treating political dissidents in a very fascist way. Because that's what comes after this speech. Is the people who want to retain their independence start being treated like the enemy within. And there's death penalty and all sorts for those people. I think it's about to get really fucking ugly. Scary shit. Anyway, play.
Is the pod assembly on schedule?
Yes, sir. We'll be ready to turn over the whole system once the Agatha King arrives.
I want all the data cores and backups on my shuttle.
Of course.
And prep the children for travel.
Sir, I'm afraid that not all of the children survived.
Research has come close to this level of success.
He's gonna do something. He's not having this. He's not.
How are you feeling?
Dizzy.
He's not dead.
Attempting to reassess.
What?
I think you may have received your last injection.
No more medicine?
You don't need it anymore. You're gonna be fine.
So beautiful.
You certainly are.
Oh my god. He's... Wait! Pause. So hang on, that was... We were seeing what Katoa was seeing, and it looked like Katoa had almost like X-ray vision, where he could actually see the network of Dr. Strickland's veins and arteries. He could see his brain. Oh, it was the electrical activity, wasn't it? It wasn't veins, it was nerves. And then messaging the brain. So he can see the electric, which is energy, which is what he needs to feed on.
You feed me, see my I can grow up big and strong.
You eat blood, Audrey, too, let's face it. How am I supposed to keep on feeding you? Kill people?
I make it worth your while.
What?
Oh my god. Eat Strickland! Eat him! Play.
You're out of uniform.
Yeah.
That's a Tachi jumpsuit. This is the Tachi.
Yes.
You're James Holden.
All right, easy guys.
This is a stolen Martian ship. So what, we're prisoners of war?
No.
No.
Because we're not in this war.
How does that work exactly?
Wow! You're an idiot!
You'll get food, medical attention, but for now you're confined to your quarters.
So we are prisoners.
You're alive. And I didn't see a line of Martian ships coming to save you.
Welcome to go in. Might make them feel better to see one of their own.
I'm not sure they see me that way now.
Mars has instead insisted on what it calls independence, which is actually no more than a justification for war and violence. And they see it as an opportunity to revisit a...
That bouncer girl made food. You hungry?
What?
Food? You put it in that big hole in your face?
I need to talk to Holden.
Good talk.
Oof. Brax! Fucking hell.
There's nothing else here.
At least those other two had the decency not to wear that uniform.
Let's try it.
I earned the right to wear this long before you were ever born, Junior.
Thank you. Arrogant little pricks.
Guess you're all done then.
Fucking pricks.
Okay, all right, kids, enough's enough. All right, settle down. I said settle down.
Oh, you, no.
We're taking the ship.
These people are fucking psychos.
You will get the fuck back to work.
I need full access to the comms, so I can send this out to the people who can use it.
No.
Wideband broadcast would light us up on everyone's threat board.
Damn
We're
it.
too close to the war zone to risk it.
I just saw the UN Secretary General address the General Assembly. The man's always been a fucking bobblehead. But tonight I saw something else. I saw Deputy Enright speaking through his mouth.
And you can fix that with a message?
Yeah.
This is Anna Volvodov. Back in their protester days, she was his conscience. She wrote the speech that created his political career. They
Okay.
share a lot of history. And Enright doesn't own her.
Let's do it. Please.
The longer this goes, the more bombs will fall. Please help me stop it.
Do it.
Find us a router to bounce the type beam off of.
Yeah!
Something that can't be traced back to us.
Thank you for being the man your mother knows you are.
You can't trust her.
And I can trust you.
It's a fair point.
I understand what she is.
Naomi, after you help the belt, that's it. You're equal to everyone else. You can't make these arguments against the Vassarella anymore.
Real quick.
Oh, fuck all the way off.
Don't do anything stupid.
Good advice. The armory's down there. Go get as many guns as you can carry.
You fucking dare. One of our people.
There's no need to hurt anyone.
Land the course for Callisto. Open up comms so I can notify the MCRN that we're gonna rendezvous with the Jupiter fleet immediately. Do it now.
Okay. But I need to bring my people over from the Kitta before I can do any maneuvers. I can't abandon two of my crew.
This is starting to feel a little bit ungrateful.
Oh, I'm gonna need these pricks dead. Robert is about to get ugly. Fucking tangent! Where the fuck is Bobby? Choke him out! Oh, look at his poor little nose though. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, thank God that gun didn't work. Jesus Christ.
Stino, go see if Randolph is okay.
I think he's still alive. Didn't know where the ammo was.
There's a version of this where nobody shoots anybody. Let's try for that one. Hey, fellas.
So what's all the ruckus?
Oh man, I love her. I think I would want Bobby on my side over anybody in this situation.
Stay right there, big girl.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a pass because you're young and stupid. But keep pointing that thing at me and I'm gonna take it away from you.
You think you can?
That's recon gear. Lofty, she could force feed you that gun if she wanted to.
I want.
You want to fight the enemy, I know. But I learned a while back that the hardest part of this game is figuring out who the enemy really is. And these guys aren't it.
Look, we tried. Okay, this shit, it didn't work. I don't want to die here.
So what then?
Put the fucking gun down and live to find out.
God.
Shit. Did I miss it?
Yes, Amos. Yes, you did.
What the hell was that?
Anna.
No, you twisted my words. You made me part of everything that I hate about all of this.
That's not
I
fair.
can't believe I fell for this again. I am such an idiot. You snapped your fingers and I am right back to following you around, mopping up the blood.
What the world needs right now
You
is
don't get to
decisive.
speak to me.
Fuck you.
I used to believe that there was a decent man somewhere inside you, buried under all that ambition. I'm sorry I was so wrong.
I'm with her.
That plus the CO tanks we gave him should be enough to get him back to their fleet.
It's nice to be working on something that's easy to repair.
Yeah. Some things don't get fixed.
Oh, makeup.
You're Christian Avasarala.
Yes. This is going to be very tedious if you remain this dim.
I don't understand. What the hell kind of a ship is this?
Right. When you rejoin your fleet, I have something I want you to show to your commanding officer.
Oh
Tell
my
him
God.
it came from.
Okay, so you want me to go back and tell my CO to hail a UN admiral in the middle of a war?
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. Or Holden here can space the three of you for being such intolerable idiots. Honestly, I can go either way.
I'd rather do the first one.
So what is this thing that you want me to show them?
Him? I knew he was a lying pile of feces before I agreed to come.
Language? Your daughter's in the next room.
Feces was as nice as I
I'm
can.
sleeping, so volume 2.
I have no idea what the best thing is anymore.
Hey, my love.
I haven't changed anything. I just made it worse.
That can't be true.
You know, if I needed to be humbled, wouldn't having all my hair fall out have done it? This feels like overkill.
Believing that God is humbling you using a solar system-wide war feels ironic.
Okay, I love you. I'm coming home. You are the only thing that I know I'm doing right, and I need that right now.
We need you too.
Please don't die, Nonny. Please.
Time is short and I'll be brief. Martian Defense Minister Kurshinov suffered a fatal heart attack earlier this evening. Simultaneously, the MCRN Caracal, dispatched by Kurshinov.
There she goes.
I just wanted to say thanks for having my back in there, Gunny. Well, all of our backs, actually.
Couldn't let them kill the only decent cook on this tub.
I don't know, I thought Naomi's kibble stuff was very interesting.
Hey, Sailor. Let's wage a war on that gut.
You just can't help yourself, can you?
Oh, shit.
Saving everyone. You just can't stop yourself. Thank you.
I'm glad you're okay.
You can't stay mad at you forever, Naomi. Keep your skin in the game.
The answer is no. No, man.
Can I see Katoa?
No.
Please.
I already said no.
I need to.
You cannot see him.
You're mean.
He loves it. Oh, shit!
I'll handle this. I know the type.
Bet he does.
I'll get her.
She knows where she's going.
I want to see Katoa. Katoa's in here.
Why do you say that?
I saw his nurse go in there.
Oh, did mine not know? Oh.
Bring Strickland to me, now.
Open the fucking door.
Open it. Now.
Human trials are essential.
Bandwidth and distance irrelevant. The limitations require input redundancy.
Take her.
Oh shit, I think so. Oh no.
Dr. Strickland? I didn't mean to. Inherent to repurposing. Disassembly reveals useful pathways.
Oh shit!
The boy is talking to the rest of the proto-molecule infestations. You are right to continue.
Fuck.
He's the key to everything.
Yeah, but he just took his fucking nurse to pieces! Jesus Christ! Oh my god, that was amazing. That was absolutely amazing from beginning to end. Oh my god. So Katoa is part of the hive mind of the proto-molecule now. And he just did to a person. I shouldn't be laughing, but there was just something comedic about it. He's just done to a person what the proto-molecule on Venus did to the Arbogast. So, disassembled. I just realised why I'm laughing now.
But when you're dead, you're dead. That's just the way it is. Dead is forever.
Squash. Dead. Disassemble. Dead. Disassemble. Dead!
Hey, slow down!
No, disassemble!
Where are you going?
He just the Johnny Five thing. I can't stop laughing. It's absolutely tickled me, that last scene. I did not expect that. I thought he was going to eat Strickland or something. I did not. I knew there was going to be something bad on the floor, but I thought that it was going to be like the nurse eating or something. No. Taken apart. Wow. Because that's how it learns. The easiest thing to learn is basically, it's like a regression that you just take, you disassemble it, and then you learn how to put it back together in the process of disassembling it, and now you know all of its constituent parts and how they interact with each other. That's fantastic. That was brilliant. I'm loving that whole, everything that's happening on IO, I'm really down for. I like the similarities between a sort of May being like a young Julie Mao, and Mao being really moved by that. But you know, even Mao, you keep seeing in the screens, I think at least twice we've seen the Arbogast and Venus in Mao's and Strickland's office. Like, he's obsessed with it and wanting to understand it. And I think his kind of dissatisfaction and disillusion with the project was really kind of resignation on the back of frustration that he couldn't figure out what was going on. Because you saw the moment he's just seen what's happened with Katoa, he's not going, oh my god, Strickland, I told you it was all going to go tits up if you carried on this project. He's like, oh my god, you found it. You found a link into what's happening in Venus. So now he has somewhere to go forward. That's it. He you know, all his little concerns for the Killywinkles are out the window. I think that's fairly, you know, instructive. We've had a couple of those moments with Mao where we've seen it's not like he doesn't have feelings, it's just that those feelings pale into insignificance when it comes to the pursuit of his mission. So Mao is back in play. We also saw in this episode very briefly that Fred Johnson now has the Nauvoo. Kamina Drummer and team have managed to get it with a massive, great crew, and so they're going to be winging that back, I'm assuming. I don't know where they're taking it. Tycho? Are they going to take over Tycho? I literally got no idea where they're taking the Nauvoo, but they're already on the refit. So I think the point is, by the time it shows up somewhere that Fred Johnson needs it, it's going to be refit into the kind of closer to a warship that they want. And now, may I just say, I have now achieved my prediction from season 1 when the Nauvoo was there. I was asking, could we refit it and turn it into a warship? Well, I finally got my way. I only had to wait nearly 3 seasons, but it was worth it. It was worth it. I want that ship in the game. So that's what's happening there. And we had the really interesting stuff that was actually happening with the Rosie, where they picked up that Martian crew, the remaining survivors from the war. I kind of figured when it was more than one that it was going to be a problem. That's how I felt about it. One survivor, you think, well, they could maybe bleed into the team, but 3, that's a gang. So it went about as well as you could have predicted, with the Martians deciding they were going to try and sort of stage a coup and take over the Tachi again, and then rejoin the war effort, which I don't know what the fuck they thought they were getting up to, but with Amos, Bobby on that ship, you're not going to be getting far, and they just lucked into the fact that they had Alex to encounter first. They would never have even got out of the brig if either Bobby or Amos had been there, but that's by the by. Alex took his licks, and I think the best bit for me was just them getting that message back to Anna to say that now Anna knows Aaron Wright. Not only does she know Aaron Wright's a snake, which she has discovered on her own, but she now has evidence of that, which she can produce to Esteban. Do I think it's going to be as simple as that? Probably not, because this is Aaron Wright we're dealing with, and the Expanse, so we will have to wait for the next couple of episodes. But I think, given the level of build-up, I think it's all going to kick off in the next couple of episodes anyway, so regardless of whether she manages to get that message to him or not. So we'll see how that goes. I paused, but I still think it's fucking disgusting the way that Aaron Wright played that whole thing, and I've explained to you why I think it's disgusting, because it doesn't mean anything. It's like, if I believed his words at face value, I'd have more sympathy, but I don't believe Aaron Wright's words at face value, because they're not true. He has connived and manoeuvred this war. He's not reluctant about it, and I think you should be reluctant, actually, about going to elective wars. And he's just like playing semantic games to be able to argue anything other than this being a chosen war. Esteban can just take a long jump off a short pier, as far as I'm concerned. That guy he's a waste man. He is a proper waste man. I don't like him at all. At least Aaron Wright is like capable. I don't like Aaron Wright, like I want him to get his comeuppance, but I respect him. I respect the game that he plays and the way that he plays it. He is effective at getting what he wants. Esteban is just a wimp, like a proper wimp. I don't like him. He's the worst. He might be my least favourite character, actually, in this whole show. And yeah, Vassaralla's settling into the Rosie, which is great. And I'm loving that. I just cannot wait for Aaron Wright to get his comeuppance and know that it has come from her. Because she would be the only one that would share that video, that recording. And I think lastly, we had some sort of, relationship building stuff happening here. I know Bobby and Vassaralla are pretty tightly wed now. I think it's going to be pretty difficult to prize those two apart as this thing moves forward, and I'm liking it. I like the way that they kind of bounce off each other, especially because they are two very different renderings of female power. One is a warrior and one is a politician, but they're both at the absolute top of their game, and it's fabulous watching them. And it is, especially even with the age difference. That's another thing that's wonderful as well, to watch a kind of a younger and an older woman bonding with each other as equals and as peers. I always find fascinating anyway. That was lush. Alex continues to be the mother of the ship, and I'm here for it. I'm really liking the way that Alex has been developed. He is just not the guy that I met in episode 1 and really didn't like. He's really, really grown, and I'm appreciating that. I think what he's realising that he has it in him to be loving and to be caring and to take care of other people, and he's finding now that he can do that on the ship rather than trying to fulfill that need to have that sort of caretaker role in, you know, romantic or parental relationships elsewhere, because he can't choose between the two. So in effect, he can become a parent on the ship, and that way do these two things that are really important to him without them being in competition with each other, which I think as a character trait to give a man is really great. It's really, really great to see, because it is real for men too, but it's just not often portrayed. It's portrayed as if that's a choice only women make, so I'm all about that. We've got Alex and Naomi are now kind of back together and okay again, and this episode it looks like definite inroads with Jim. He had love in his eye. I like that. Not so much with Amos. I still don't think that means that Amos couldn't forgive Naomi. I wonder if Naomi was in peril, how Amos would actually react. Because I know he's got a strict, you know, people you protect, people you kill, you know, those rules. But I think bare minimum, given Naomi's skill level and contribution to the team, he would have to protect her. But I think he's going to rediscover his feelings for Naomi. I don't know. That's not true. I don't think he will. I want him to. I don't know if he will at all. I don't know how that fits into the narrative, but I would really like him to. I think they had a really great relationship that was interesting and very different to a lot of the sort of typical male-female relationships that we see in these situations, and I want to see that developed. So I love that episode, and I will be watching episodes 5 and 6 together. So people on YouTube, I'm afraid you won't get them the same week, but people on Patreon will watch 5 and 6 in the same week. So the choice is yours. If you can't wait a week, come join us over at Patreon and you'll be able to see both of those episodes in the same week. Thank you for joining me again, and until the next time, bye bye.
Thank you for being a friend.